mentioned the Steelers, and I think this is fascinating with Shador, with Jackson Dart, with Milroe, with the Browns, and the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. Let's tie it all together here, because considering what you said about 6 and 9, and the Steelers are sitting there at 21, if Rodgers says yes, then you'd have to think they're likely out of the quarterback conversation at 21. But if Rodgers is still sitting in Malibu waiting for a FaceTime audio call from somebody other than the Steelers or hasn't made up his mind, then with the Browns sitting there at 33 and the Steelers quarterback plans unknown, to me, Tom, it's fascinating. Do you have to, let's say if you're the Browns, get ahead of the Steelers? Who do the Steelers want? Is it what you want? Rodgers going there, I think, takes a little bit of suspense out of the quarterback game in the bottom half of the first round. But if he still hasn't said yes, or better yet, if he has said no to the Steelers, then that last hour of the draft to me is as interesting as the first.
Well, think about this too, Andrew, because you're right. All these things are tied together. I wouldn't say it's a total disqualifier if Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh. They can't take a quarterback in the first round, but it certainly would lower the likelihood. I would also say from a strategic standpoint, and you heard Art Rooney mention this the other day when he was asked, has it taken longer than you thought? And he said, yes. He said that everything seems positive right now, which matches what I've heard, which is all signs point toward Aaron eventually being a Steeler. But there is going to become a point at which patience might run out, and it might be draft week of, hey, if we don't know you're coming, we might take one in the first round. I believe, and again, the Steelers have put no deadlines on this, and Mike Tomlin has always shown that he's willing to be patient in these matters. I would certainly think it would be the strong preference of the Steelers to have an answer already, to have it ASAP, but certainly before the draft begins, because that is going to influence the strategy you have as you go into round one. Again, everybody is very sensitive around all matters involving Aaron Rodgers. Nobody wants to spook him. Nobody wants to say the wrong thing. But if you read between the lines of what Art Rooney said, it's very obvious that, hey, they're showing patience. They want him. They think it all is trending toward him coming to Pittsburgh, but they don't have an answer. And at some point here, you are going to have to make other decisions that impact your football team for years to come that are hinging on one 41-year-old making up his mind and just saying, yes, done, I'm coming. The contract parameters have been in place for weeks. It's going to be a one-year deal when it gets done. But they don't have the final, I'm in. And you've heard a little bit of that frustration out of the locker room, too, in terms of, I know Cam Hayward tried to walk it back a couple times, but hey, you want to be a Steeler or you don't. That's right. That's from what I've been told. That's kind of the sentiment among the veteran players. It's like, dude, are you in or out? Because we're good either way. But like, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is not, I'm not even going to say another team, but this is not some franchise that hasn't been around that long and doesn't have history. It's the Steelers. No, I gotcha. It's one of the iconic teams in all of football. Tell us what you want. What are you going to do? And we'll react from there. From an organizational standpoint, a roster management standpoint, in my mind, speaking solely for myself, in my mind, that pivot point comes the week of the draft.
You're either in or you're out. And I would argue Renegade's overrated. But that is just me.
Wow, hot take.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.